because that's what it's going to take. I mean, not only are they in a position to do that again, but that's what it's going to take again. They're going to have some kind of September like they did last year in order to make the playoffs, either as the division champ or as the wild card team. Do you see that happening? I don't know. I mean, I certainly didn't see it happening last year, and it did. But the way I like the way they have set up and come into Labor Day weekend now by winning several of these series. Winning 2 out of 3 in Chicago, I think, was a big mental step for them because, as we talked about last week, Chicago's had their number this year. As much as the Indians had their number a year ago, the White Sox have just given them a hard time this year. So to go into Chicago, win 2 out of 3, and the one they lost was the one Kluber pitched.
I know.
If you'd have told me that they were going to lose the game that Kluber pitched, I just thought, oh my God, we're in trouble. But no, they won the other 2, and they're winning games without scoring a lot of runs. That's something that while it's a little troubling that they're not able to score more than 2 or 3 runs a game, it's good that they're winning some of these games. They win 3-2. They win 4-3. They're not getting much offensive production, but they're making the most out of what they get. So the stage is set. You're right. I don't know that they're a team of destiny. I think we need to see a little bit. I will give you this. They seem to have this uncanny knack for walk off and last at bat victories. Maybe even more so than last year. They seem to have a tendency to do that. So that element is there. Now, whether that comes to fruition and we see a kind of a run like we did last September, that remains to be seen. But yeah, the stage is set, and the stage is set not only for them in terms of how they've been playing, but yeah, now here comes Kansas City, here comes Detroit. If they're going to do it, this is it. They need to stand up and do it now. They'll have, if they don't turn out to win this thing or don't turn out to make the playoffs, they'll have nobody to blame but themselves. I mean, they can't blame the schedule. They can't say, well, we didn't have a chance to play Detroit or Kansas City down the stretch. No, they do. This is there. I mean, there's key games there that if they win the majority of these key games, they will be right there. They will have a shot at this thing. And so they're, even though they're behind, they really are in a way to control their own destiny. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
For sure. You mentioned the walk-offs. They had 11 last year. They're at 10 and counting here with the last month of the season to go. I mean, really, and you brought it up, I think, a week or two ago, that with the exception of having Kansas City and Detroit in the mix, it's all the same suspects from the end of last season. You're playing the same teams in the same month, all of that. But, they finally got past that 3 games over 500 where that was the high water mark. They've gotten past it, knocked back. They're kind of, now they're balancing at the 4 games over deal and trying to push themselves past that. We said it earlier, the math. They're at 68 and 64, 30 games exactly to play. 20 and 10 down the stretch to win 2 out of 3 all the way through puts you at 88 wins. Means Seattle and Detroit simply have to play no better or can't play worse than, I believe, 16 and 14 down their final 30. And
that's a lot to ask. Yeah.
Well, not the way they've played. I mean, Detroit has definitely leveled off to a 500 level. Matter of fact, I'm shocked. Not just Detroit. Did you notice that David Price, since he got traded, his ERA is like 4.5 for Detroit. He's not gotten himself untracked yet for Detroit at all. And they've got the Sanchez injury. There's some real Verlander. There's some real question marks there with Detroit.
Yeah, can you imagine the fallout if the Tigers don't make the playoffs?
Oh,
can
man,
you just
after
imagine
that trade?
the disaster?
Ooh, man, you're going to lose. Scherzer coming up. You make that trade for Price. People are going, write the World Series tickets now for Detroit, And
and that's what I thought. I thought the division title was locked up, and no, not at all. I mean, almost the opposite. I mean, as you said, you'd almost argue they're worse. They've been a worse team since acquiring. Not that it's Price's fault, but they certainly haven't played better since acquiring him.
They made that trade, and then Kansas City made their run. Kansas City's like, hey, you know what? We're just going to stop losing games here. Let's see what you can do about it, And Kansas, amazingly to see. Earlier in the show, I said, doesn't it feel weird to say this many games behind Kansas City, not Detroit? We're not even chasing down
and
the
that's great. And, quickly, just to point that, I think this is great. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose the division to Kansas City.
There you go.
I think it's awesome to see the Royals back in this. Looking at the standings of the American League here these last few weeks, I feel like it's like 1989. I mean, you've got Baltimore, Kansas City, Oakland for a while, and then the Angels in first. Geez, this is not what we've come to know in the last quarter century in the American League race. These are fresh faces that haven't really been contenders consistently since the 80s. This is great. This is a lot of fun to see some of these fresh faces in this race, and certainly Kansas City. I think there's sort of a brotherhood. Kansas City and Cleveland have a lot in common. I think they're great, not only great sports towns, but they're long-suffering. So it's great to see the Royals kind of emerge after more than 20 years of really struggling and putting it together. So if the Indians can't do it, I'm all in for the Royals. Like, I don't mind losing to the Royals. Let's just not lose. We can all agree neither of us want to lose to Detroit. Let's just have one of us beat Detroit, and we'll both be happy.
The flip side of that, just looking at the standings, how often do you see the two big money teams, but how often do you see Boston 18.5 games back? And Texas with that huge roster, they're nearly 30 games out of first place.
Unbelievable. I mean, honestly, I do not believe that is happening, either of those situations.
52.
Really amazing. Really amazing.
52 and 81 in Texas, man, after they make that trade and everything.
Yeah, they could lose 100 games.
Man, I mean, that's just amazing when you think about it. Other things you expect, but when you see that, and then same with Boston, it's just you're just not used to seeing them 20 games out of first place either. They flipped it around, man. You're right. It's like the late 80s.
It's almost
here.
Upside down in some ways. Yeah.
Where's Cal Senior? Is he still coaching managing the Orioles here? What's going on, man? All right.
Brooks Robinson starting at third for the Orioles, and George Brett for the Royals. Yeah.
Carl Yastrzemski's not happy somewhere. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly.
JK, my man, I'm telling you, relax on the Tribe because you've got it. It's in the stars. It's celestial. They are the team.
Well, you know what? You said something similar last year, and I mocked you at the time and regretted it later. So I will withhold judgment for now, and we shall see what happens post Labor Day.
We shall see. Next Friday, hey, we'll have a good idea because we'll have gone through Kansas City and Detroit once, and I think we'll know a lot more about this team. And you and I can look into Browns have started a few seasons with the Steelers before, and hopefully this one's more like the 51-0 variety. But anyways, we'll look ahead to that. We'll maybe talk about some of the ones from the past years, and we'll look at the first game of the new season for the Browns as well.
Yes, we will. Yeah, it's always fun, regardless of your expectations for the season. Starting football is always fun. It's sort of a fresh start. The seasons are changing. You're going into fall. It's always nice. It's nice to see that tradition pick up. And as you said, think about all the things that have come before, all the other opening days. So regardless of how you feel about this year's team, this is fun. It's a fun time.
And I like that the Steelers game is first because the season hasn't had a chance to go to hell. It hasn't stunk yet. So, no.
I was looking at it from the point of view, it's actually good because we're killing two birds with one stone because the Browns, one, never win on opening day, and two, never win in Pittsburgh. So rather than getting two automatic losses, we just combined them into one. So well played, NFL schedule makers.
Come on. But you know what I'm saying. At least the fans that want to get into Browns versus Steelers, there's no reason not to for the first game of the season. There is sometimes in Week 14 a difficult time getting up for that one, but this one here should have some energy and some excitement. We'll talk about it. My man, enjoy your weekend, Kansas City and then Detroit and the holiday and all of that. We will catch up on the Browns and the Indians and the Buckeyes next Friday.
Yes, we will. Looking forward to it.
All right, JK, thank you as always. That's my man, the sports writer extraordinaire, Jonathan Knight. We're going to take a break, last break of the day, but not the end of the show. We've got plenty more to come. Speaking of the Buckeyes, the Navy, they're playing this weekend. We'll look ahead to that. Indians in Kansas City. We'll set the stage for the latest leg of the Tour O Destiny for the Cleveland Indians. And I'll tell you one more time about the ins and outs for this weekend with the play-by-play and some fantasy football and all of that. Don't go anywhere. Final segment of the Sports Fix coming up. You know what? What the hell? I'm going to open up the phone lines. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. Get in if you can. We'll be right back here on the Sports Fix.
And now, a very special announcement from the Sports Fix.
Black bears weigh between 200 and 500 pounds. Brown bears weigh between 300 and over 1,000 pounds. Black bears run away from you. Brown bears run at you. When attacked by a bear, simply lie still on the ground and cover your face and head with your hands. When the bear is finished batting you around and mauling you, contact the U.S. Forest Service.
And that was a message from the Sports Fix.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the ninth, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet.
we can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing.
What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hi, this is Dean Chenoweth, head coach of Cleveland's Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Everyone's watching. Yeah, it's that time a little bit early here. Final segment of the week here on the Sports Fix. Man, my day is actually, I can't even say my day has just begun because it began hours and hours ago, and we've crammed a lot in already, and there's still a lot more to go. I think I will be done, roughly about 10 and a half hours from now or so. It's all good. It's all good. I'm excited today, man. Working for the weekend to work on the weekend. I love it. I can't wait. I make my debut tonight doing some play-by-play. Hey, that's one of the things that I've never gotten an opportunity to do. Wasn't looking for it. Came across my way, and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to give this a whirl, man. Let's see what we can do. So if you guys are interested, by the way, in listening to me, perhaps you want to critique me or tell me that you could do better, it's all good. Hit me up and over the weekend and take a listen tonight and then let me know what you thought. We will be live 7 p.m. is kickoff for defending Division VI state champions, the Kirtland Hornets. Coach Tiger Laverty will have his Hornets out there taking on the East Lake North Rangers, led by new head coach, former Lake Catholic head coach Mike Bell. After 12 years there at Lake Catholic and some playoff appearances and some success, he's now going to come take over an East Lake North team that went 1-9 its last 2 seasons, and they couldn't have a tougher way to start things off tonight. The action kicks off at 7 p.m. on 1330 a.m. WINT here in Northeast Ohio. If you're not there, which a lot of you guys that listen to the Sports Fix are all over the country, you can stream it live on WINTradio.com, or you can go to TuneIn. A lot of you listen to the Sports Fix on TuneIn. Just like you found us there, search for 1330 WINT, and you'll find their station feed on TuneIn Radio, and you can listen to us right there on your device, just like you do the Fix. And let me know what you think. Even if high school football is not your thing, listen for a few minutes and hit me up and just go, hey man, you stunk, or hey man, you are the next Howard Cosell, or anywhere in between. I'll take any level of compliment or complaint because I'm curious how I do. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I'm excited about it. So not only that, I got a lot of things. I got some other things going on this weekend I can't tell people about, but needless to say, if you're a fan of my wrestling career, I'm surprised secretly showing up somewhere, and you'll be surprised to see me, but I can't tell you where I'll be. So